A close-up look tonight at the CSI work that cracked the Etherman rapist case.
The search for a suspect had Albuquerque police puzzled for 18 years. But they're not puzzled anymore. News 13's Tim Maestas is on special assignment tonight with the behind-the-scenes look at what it took to identify the man and at the scientist who finally made the match.
The search for the suspect we now know as Robert Howard Bruce began almost 20 years ago, back when APD Crime Lab Commander Paul Feist was still working the streets looking for the so-called Etherman rapist.
I was a field investigator, and so I actually responded to some of these cases. I was actually on the scene collecting some of this very evidence.
DNA samples from a series of unsolved rapes sat in APD's evidence room for years. Forensic scientists knew early on the samples came from the same person. They just didn't know who. An indictment against an unidentified John Doe, known only by his DNA, helped protect the serial rape case from the statute of limitations.
If it matches, it matches. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match.
Over the years, forensic scientist Laura Pern compared the DNA evidence to DNA samples for more than 20 possible suspects, but no match.
We knew that there was a link between the cases, but we didn't have an individual to link the cases to.
Forensic scientists kept testing the DNA evidence as technology improved, each time confirming they all belonged to the same unknown suspect. Then, last month in Pueblo, Colorado, a man named Robert Howard Bruce was arrested. The Peeping Tom suspect is accused of trying to blow up the house of a police officer set to testify against him. According to Albuquerque police, DNA was collected from the propane tank allegedly used in the bomb plot. Colorado investigators found out Bruce might have connections to crimes here in Albuquerque after contacting members of his family. Bruce's DNA was eventually sent here to APD's Metro Crime Lab. I'm sure it was an exciting moment for you.
Yes.
Laura Pern was the one who discovered the match. Sitting inside her office, analyzing the DNA data from Bruce and the unknown serial rape suspect. What did you discover?
I discovered that the profile from Mr. Bruce's sample matched the DNA profiles that we already had for multiple cases.
Finally, a hit.
I had a second individual verify the comparison and then went straight to administration so that they could handle it appropriately.
It's very gratifying to be here today.
Years after Commander Feist started searching for the Etherman rapist, he now has possession of the DNA that identifies a suspect. The old and new evidence is locked up tight inside the evidence room, and soon the 44-count indictment against John Doe will bear the name Robert Howard Bruce.
And I'm absolutely sure, absolutely confident, not only in the abilities of our scientists, but in the technology, that this is the individual.
Tim Maestas, KRQE News 13.
Investigators believe Bruce is connected to rape cases in several other states. He must first face the charges in Colorado before he can be tried for the crimes here in New Mexico.